Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. This is the second part of my Pokemon breeding guide. The first dealt with the fundamentals and this will build upon that. In the first video I mentioned a few times that Pokemon have to be compatible to breed. The subject of this video is egg groups, the number one reason why Pokemon are or aren't compatible. Just a reminder, I would suggest having a particular Pokemon that you are trying to breed and going through all of these steps with it. For this series I'm going to say that I want a Snorlax, and that's the Pokemon I'm going to be breeding through this series, along with lots of examples of others in the videos too. So, egg groups. What is it? So maybe you've heard of egg groups. In its most basic terms, this dictates which Pokemon can breed with other Pokemon, because Pokemon can only breed with Pokemon from the same egg group. There's a few different egg groups, and often Pokemon belong to more than one egg group, giving more options for breeding. If you want to breed your Pokemon, you need to use a Pokemon from the same egg group. Snorlax can't breed with Eevee because they belong to completely different egg groups. Snorlax is in the monster egg group. Eevee is in the field egg group. They are not compatible, however they do share a common Pokemon. The dreamy electric sheep Pokemon Mareep is in both monster and field egg groups, so it bridges the divide and can breed with both. This gets massively useful for passing on IVs or moves across egg groups. IVs will be covered in other videos in this series. There's quite a few different egg groups, and as always you can get all the information on which Pokemon are in which egg groups from Cerebi or Bulbapedia, linked in the description. But there is another egg group called Undiscovered. The Pokemon in there cannot breed. Things like Mewtwo can't just be bred. You also can't breed with baby Pokemon like Munchlax, Pichu, Riolo, etc. Why does it matter? Egg groups matter. You can't even start breeding without putting the right things in the daycare. It can get more useful and complicated though. If I spent the time breeding Mareep up until I had a male with great IVs, I have a massive advantage for breeding into both the monster and field egg groups, making it really quick to breed up really strong Pokemon from either. That Eevee and Snorlax I mentioned earlier could be improved by the appropriate Mareep. Please note that I've chosen Mareep as an example, but these principles apply across a lot of Pokemon. Having said that, there is a Pokemon that can sidestep a lot of these problems and needs to be mentioned: Ditto. Ditto can take the form of other Pokemon, so if you put it in daycare with a male or female Bulbasaur, you can breed Bulbasaurs, or whatever Pokemon you want, except undiscovered Pokemon, as I mentioned a while ago. One other thing about that though, there was always going to be complications to all of this, wasn't there? Well, say hello to blue female Nidoran and pink male Nidoran. They create their own rules here. The male and female are actually different species, for some reason. At least they are in the same egg groups and can breed together though. Except they can't breed if the female evolves. Nidorina and Nidoqueen belong to the undiscovered egg group and can't produce eggs. It can only breed in its pre-evolved form. The male can continue to breed all through its evolutions though. So what are the actual possible breeding pairs in this example? Well, there's the Nidoran female and any of the male line, although it's very convenient that they will produce both male and female Nidoran. You could have a female or male Nidoran, well, since Gen 5 for male anyway, with Ditto, which will also produce eggs of both. This is useful if you only have one of the genders and need the other to complete your Pokédex. You could have a female Nidoran with a male Charmander, because it belongs to the same egg group, along with a lot of other things. They will produce Nidoran eggs of both genders. You could have a male Nidoran and a female Bulbasaur, because it shares an egg group along with lots of other things. In that example you would get Bulbasaurs because the female passes its species down. There are some awkward examples, but most of the time two Pokemon, a male and a female from the same egg group, will produce eggs of the mother's species. That's the general rule. How do I get it? In the description I will attach a couple of links to resources on egg groups, finding out what egg groups Pokemon are in. This will help you to know what can breed together. Going back to my example though, Snorlax, that's the monster egg group. So my Pokemon can breed with any others in that group. I want my Snorlax to be female, so the eggs are Snorlax. It's no good using a male in this example, but that's what I have, a male Snorlax. At least I can breed the male with a Ditto until I get a female egg. That's a bit of hassle though, because only 12.5, that's only 1 in 8 Snorlaxes are female. That's fine though. I'll put the Ditto and the male Snorlax in the daycare and run around collecting and hatching eggs until one is female. Then I take the Ditto out and the male Snorlax and probably put them away in the PC for another time. My female Snorlax is going to be the base for my Snorlax breeding. Anyway, that's enough for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video to find out about abilities and hidden abilities.